if it's being inspired spiritually or physically, whichever, it just wipes away. And everybody will feel the release. All of a sudden, you come aware of it. You just feel the freeness of it. This is what these things are about. If the voices are even more going out there in the same manner of how it is presented today, I'm sure we'll see the difference of our life. We will see the change, a positive change to our life. And I will know, because it will happen from the neighbor to neighbor. I will know in a society, in an environment where I might be, I will know that as a result of what I was saying, the effect is taking grounds. It's not people trying to sort of put some pretentious acts to sort of make you feel as if, yeah, I mean, we've changed or we are not. It's not. We are talking about something real. People pretend to be what they are not all the time. That's not what this is about. We have to be smart. Even if it doesn't mean that you may react to the person, but the expression of people will tell. The change will come without knowing. They will not know that they've changed. You will not. You change. You feel you're changing, but it will naturally take its course, and that is the sign. That is the change. That is the real change that we look up to. That is the real change I look up to. I'm not looking up to any other angle or any other change. This is the sort of change I look up to. This is the change that I expect. Not from anything, from anywhere, miracle from anywhere or anything. This is the real miracle we're talking about. Something practically being seen, materialized in the life that you are into. That's the real thing we're talking about. So if people begin to have a different positive mind, which I've said so far, the impact will be there. I will feel it, I will know, I will experience it, I will realize it. It will just happen. We will see it happening. And I pray for that. I really look forward to that kind of, change, which I know. If only the impact goes there, if it goes into the ears, if people listen, people realize that it's not a bad thing coming on to us. We are watchful of, as I said, be watchful of what you're listening to. And if you listen carefully, because we always will listen to things. We will listen to bad things and good things. The body has got the ability and the tendency to take the good and drop the bad. You breathe in air. The body is capable of taking in oxygen and bringing out carbon dioxide. You eat in food. It's capable of eating the good, food, and, you shitting out of, putting out the other one. The feces out. It's happening with all living organisms. That ability is there. So the ability of hearing things, you will hear a lot of things. You will see a lot of things. But there are things that you see that you love, that you hold on to. There are things that you see you don't love, you don't look. There are things that you hear, you like, you keep in your brains, in yourself. Some you don't hear, you forgot. You just forget it. You drop it out of your mind. You don't even want to know. That's how it is. So what you hear here, what you listen, it's not about to listen. You end up listening. You have to listen. The ears and the eyes, they are all there for that purpose. The mouth is there to eat. So you eat. If it's something eatable, you have to eat. Something that you have to see, you have to look, you look. Nothing stuff, you have to look, anything you have to look. Smells, like you take the air in, you don't try to find out, is it good air, is it the bad air? If you can, you like to change, but like you go into a place where it's surrounded with dust. You close because you realize that obviously there's so much dust, you don't need that too much dust. But if you're in an environment where you don't see that, you see that, you feel your eyes tells you it's a bit clear, you can breathe. It could be toxic with some nuclear distraction thing in there, but since you can't see, but some things are so obvious. You can talk, you can say anything about, you can, prevent that. But apart from that, the things you're listening, you hear bad things. You hear people say things that you don't want them to say. It's not the irrelevant things like using this, what we call the F word. We're saying the word fuck, F-O-U-C-K, fuck. It's difficult. If you say fuck or something, you've done the abominable thing. Is this very relevant to our life? It's a word expressing something. If you're a teacher, you have to, end up saying it. How you say it, how you use it to people makes it look bad. How you use it, it's a practical thing that we refer to by using that word in somebody's language. But even here in England, in this language, They have problem in using it because people use it stupidly, using it, excuse me to say, with no sense of what they just use it, and it's being misused and abused. But the word itself can be said in any way. So the only way is, let's just reject it because people want to hear it anymore. They hear it, but they don't want to hear it, but they want to do it. The doers and not the listeners or the hearers. That's what it's become these days. If you can do the thing and you don't want to listen, you don't want to hear it, or you don't want to, you sort of, it disgusts you. What really are you trying to pull? You're loving the thing, but outwardly, you're making people believe that you hate it. That's a great sense of hypocrisy, and I don't think we need that in our life. If you love it, be yourself. Let your honesty be you. Exactly what you do, be exactly what you are. You love it, you say it, you do it, that's fine. Abusing it is doing it too much than what you're supposed to do. Doing what you can't take. You do it more than what you are supposed, you can really take and do. And you only would know that. If you cannot run 200 meters and you're forcing to go about that, what you were stressing yourself. Nobody even have to correct you or put a law on you to tell you that don't go. If you do that, then you're almost compared to an animal, because you don't know left to right. You cannot determine for yourself how far you should go and how far you shouldn't go, and that is your problem. But you should know your body. Will tell you. You get tired, you can't go anymore. It will stop. So when you're tired and you stop, it means that is it. You are going beyond your limit. That is how it is with everything. So anything you practice, the rather attitude that we should have towards these things, whether it be in words or whatever, is being engaging in that act, not the expression that you go through. And also when you are engaging in it, knowing, accepting and acknowledging to the reactions that you have towards those things. It being your tiredness, or being fed up with something, that act, that body reaction that comes is what is necessary. And you base things on that, you do well. You don't dwell on irrelevant things and set up words or boundaries that held you back. And at some point, it's holding you back, but at some point. And then when you put yourself in that situation and you find yourself engaging in the very thing that you so-called disgust or somehow resented somebody of, you see yourself doing it, you see that you are bound to want to do it secretly. Because if somebody say, they'll sort of accuse you that, you are accusing me of that. You say you don't want to hear these things. It's very bad. But here you found yourself doing it and I've caught you. If you don't like it and you don't like the word, how are you engaging yourself in this? And so for you to avoid the idea of shame of what you have put yourself into, you're bound to have secretly and shyness and putting ourselves into that shyness. You see, as I said, to free yourself to live a life not guilty life, a guiltless life, where nothing, no guilt is coming upon you and all that. It depends on how the things you accept and how you publicly reveal yourself, or you publicly accept yourself to be in every corner, not necessarily standing on a platform, but in your own small life, in the few people you might relate to, or the few things you might relate to. Just be that. There's no shyness of it. And if somebody accuses you, justifiably put that person in his place or her place to know what common sense is about and what natural life is about. Let's have these things in our mind, and gradually we will be able to know the separations of natural life from culture, natural life from religion. And when we build that very much, we'll see culture belongs to museum, religion belongs to museum. We know that there are something, memories of our life we hold on, we have to remember, but not to hold on to them, and that will be true life for us. We'll be grateful of what we have to be grateful of, but we still have our life to be. We have to be what we are. I will end it here, and we will talk more about these things. Let's open up to the facts of life.